Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the July 11th Judicial and Public Safety Committee meeting. So before I welcome our special guest, I wanted to share some informational items, and I need my glasses for this. First, I would like to announce the budget presentation schedule. On August 1st, we will hear from the Coroner's Office and the Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Management. Then on August 15th, we will have our normal meeting at 8 a.m. where we will hear from the 18th Judicial Circuit Court Clerk from an additional special call at 1 p.m. where we will then hear from the 18th Judicial Circuit Court, the Sheriff's Office, the State's Attorney, and the Public Defender. I'm looking forward to hearing everybody's budget presentations, so I hope you'll all be here. Second, I want to inform everyone that at the Finance Committee meeting next week, you will see an item regarding the compensation of the public defender. We are required by statute to pay the public defender 90% of what the state's attorney is compensated. Like last year, the state's attorney is receiving a COLA, cost of living adjustment, from the state, requiring us to increase the public defender's salary accordingly. Additionally, 66 1/3% of the public defender's salary is reimbursed by the state. Third, as the investigation into the incidents of this Father's Day shooting continues, I'm sure we will see, like the request on today's agenda, a request to cover overtime for the operation. So brace yourselves for that. I'm very appreciative of the hard work that the law enforcement officials are doing, and I want us to all support their investigation. Finally, I would like to introduce our special guest. Oh God, You're right. Okay. Oh yeah, I called to order and forgot the roll call. Okay, can we have a roll call, please?
Yes, Chair Evans.
Here.
Member Chaplin. Here. Member Childress. Here. Member Dessart. Here. Member Eckhoff. Here. Member Guston. Here. Member Krajewski. Member Ozog. Here. Member Schwarzy. Member Tornatore. Here. Member Yu. Member Zay.
Okay, and I completely forgot about public comment too. So do we have it? Yes, public comments?
There is no public comment.
Okay. And now I already gave my chair remarks, except for our special guest, Chief Mark Matten from the Lamont Police Department, who will be presenting the DuPage County Sheriff's Office with their Illinois Law Enforcement Accreditation Program, ILEAP, Tier 2 award. This highly sought after award requires intense amounts of work from the Sheriff's Office to ensure their policy and procedures meet the established criteria set out by the Illinois Association of Chiefs of Police. Chief Matten, please take it away.
Thank you, Chairman Evans, and thank you for inviting me this morning. I'm Mark Maton. I currently serve as the first Vice President of the Illinois Chiefs of Police, and am the Chief in Lamont. So it's my privilege this morning to join you in presenting the DuPage County Sheriff's Department with the 2023 Tier 2 Law Enforcement Accreditation Award. The Illinois Chiefs created ILEAP, which was the accreditation program, about 10 years ago as a way to help police departments demonstrate their commitment to their communities and an unwavering commitment to achieve the highest professional standards. It's really a demonstration to the board and the community that the department is following national best practices on policies and procedures, and the auditing process tests whether the department is operating in compliance with those national standards and the standards that they've set for themselves. So there's a lot of benefits to ILEAP: improved police effectiveness, identification of problem areas, the development of documentation of performance, decreased insurance premiums, which I know all you like a lot, decreased liability potential, and most importantly, demonstration to the residents that the police department runs a state-of-the-art operation. To achieve Tier 2 ILEAP, the sheriff had to demonstrate compliance with 181 professional standards covering 4 critical policy areas: administration, operations, personnel, and training. And it really requires a department-wide commitment to organizational excellence. So Sheriff Mendrick and his team, Deputy Chief Bloodow, and our accreditation coordinator, Megan Kupacheski, reviewed department policies, procedures, and reports for months to get ready for the assessment. The assessment team then spent 2 days on site, observing the members of the police department, conducting interviews and participating in ride-alongs. This independent third-party review ensures that accredited organizations actually do what they say they do to serve and protect our communities according to the highest professional ethical standards. So once accredited, they'll remain accredited for 4 years, and then we'll go through it again. So on behalf of the Illinois Chiefs of Police, congratulations to the DuPage County Sheriff's Department, Sheriff Mendrick, and the entire DuPage County team on achieving the 2023 Tier 2 ILEAP accreditation. So I'll bring them forward behind me. And I'll actually read the plaque. Can y'all hear me? So here's what the plaque will say that will be hanging in the police department. It says the Illinois Accreditation Council verifies that the DuPage County Sheriff's Office has policies, procedures, and daily routines that achieve the Tier 2 level of Illinois accreditation. This signifies that the office is compliant with the professional standards of the modern law enforcement. Signed by my boss in March 30th, 2023. So congratulations. You did all the work.
Thank you, Chief, and I'm sorry I mispronounced your name. It's Meaton. Member Krajewski.
Just real quick, Chief, do you know how many of the 102 counties are Tier 2 certified in Illinois?
I don't, it's not very many. We have just under 100 police departments, and I'm gonna say 3 counties.
Thank you.
That was wonderful. Let's see, next on the agenda is the approval of minutes. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of June 20th, 2023? Okay, all in favor? Okay, the motion carries. Moving on to procurement requisitions. Can I get a motion on JPSP 005723, recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to Insight Public Sector for the purchase of laptops, desktops, monitors, printers, and small IT equipment for the clerk of the circuit court for a total contract amount of $111,614. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Next, we're moving on to resolutions. Can I get a motion for FIR 016323, acceptance and appropriation of the Violent Crimes Victims Assistance Program grant for 2024. I keep forgetting to ask, is there any discussion on this? Okay, all in favor? Okay, the motion carries. Moving on to, can I get a motion for FIR 016423, acceptance and appropriation of the Victims of Crime Act Child Advocacy Center Services Program Grant 2024. Any discussion on this? Oh, that's in the amount of $60,740. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Let's move on to budget transfers. Can I get a motion for item 232343? Transfer of funds from instruction and schooling to temporary salaries in the amount of $7,500 to cover the expenses of a paid summer internship for our department. Any discussion on that? All in favor? Okay, the motion carries. Can I get a motion for item 232344, transfer of funds from sheriff special duty overtime to holiday pay in the amount of $2,000 needed for a small number of court security officers who transferred from LEB and received holiday pay earned at their previous position. And I forgot to double check. What's LEB stand for? That's what I thought. Okay, Law Enforcement Bureau. So any discussion on that? All in favor? Okay, the motion carries. Can I get a motion for item 232345, transfer of funds from per diem stipend to cell phone stipend in the amount of $3,000 to cover employees receiving cell phone stipends, which were included in the LEB budget and are coded to the Sheriff's Administration in 2023. Any discussion on that? Okay, all in favor? Okay, the motion carries. Moving on, can I get a motion for 23-23-46 transfer of funds from regular salaries to sheriff special duty overtime in the amount of $175,000 needed for the following reason. Sheriff special duty overtime is over budget. Average monthly activity year to date is 38,000 compared to 19,000 for the same period for fiscal year 22. Further, wages increased due to MAP side letter agreement approved in March 2023. This is a budget neutral transfer because the general fund receives payment from the entities using the sheriff's detail services. Any discussion on that? Okay, all in favor? Okay, the motion carries. Can I get a motion for item 23-23-47, transfer of funds from regular salaries, holiday pay, sheriff special duty overtime, and sheriff special duty overtime to overtime in the amount of $985,146 for the following reason. Overtime for jail operations is significantly over budget due to the continued headcount vacancies and difficulty in recruiting jail officers. The shortfall is amplified because the PBLC contract approved after fiscal year 23 budget was submitted, including significant wage increases in wage rates. Any discussion on that? Okay, we have member you first.
Thank you, Chair. So can I get a little bit of explanation as to how this transfer from sheriff special duty OT to overtime is different from the sheriff special duty overtime in the prior item? Because the $985,000 is quite a lot of money.
Good morning. So the prior one was in law enforcement. So if you look at the codes, 4415 is our law enforcement. That special duty detail is separate from 4410, which is the jail. So we're trying to balance out things in the jail, again, trying to stay ahead of our budget, trying not to fall behind. As we told you a couple of weeks ago, jail overtime was just going to continue to go through the roof, and it is. We ended up, when we did our FY23 budget, that was prior to the Safety Act and some changes with state mandates. So we had actually budgeted money in the jail and in the court security division for special duty details. With the state mandates, we had some conversations with the state's attorney's office. Those who weren't certified law enforcement officers were not going to be allowed to do those details out on the street anymore. So we had that money still sitting there for those special duty details. Now we're actually just moving that over and trying to put that in the jail environment back into overtime. So we're doing all these internal transfers before we have to come back and ask you guys for more money for the jail overtime.
Thank you. Member Ozog and then member Krajewski.
So these are transfers, and although it doesn't say it like the one before us, or one before this, budget neutral.
So the one before, the one in law enforcement, because we're still going on and do that. Like if you see us out directing traffic at churches or you see us out directing traffic somewhere, those entities actually pay the county back. And that money actually comes, the checks, when they come to us, we just ship them right over the treasurer's office. So that's budget neutral. The second one, when we're talking about the jail, we budgeted that money for those special duty details for that particular line. Because we're not using it because they're not doing those details anymore. Now we're just shifting that money over.
So it is still,
So it's still neutral. We're not asking for more money yet.
okay. Thank you.
Member Krajewski.
Thank you. Two things. One, the 985, I mean, there is some cost to overtime, right? Because we're paying time and a half. There's some savings because you got vacant head count. So I'm not sure what the true cost is, the extra cost that we have.
That's something that we're working very diligently with Jeff and Jennifer in finance. We're trying to stay ahead of that. We did put some money in contingencies for those open head count. And we have not, as far as I know, we have not touched that yet. So we're still working with our internal budget before we try to go back and say, hey, we need to do this.
Because the head count's causing the overtime, but
Correct.
we haven't used that, so we got that money, but the overtime's at a higher rate.
Correct.
And then the second thing with the MAP or the PBLC contract, usually we put money, Jeff, we put money in the contingency fund because we're not sure when these things are going to
And
settle.
I believe that that's where the funds are, and we just haven't gone there yet. We're still trying to keep everything within our budget until
Sure.
we get to that point where we're just.
So we have money in contingent, I believe, in the general fund for this contract that just settled in March. Because we weren't sure what, they were still negotiating it.
Yes, there's still quite a bit of money in contingencies while we're spending it. You know,
I mean,
the
some of
money
the
is still
was-
there. Yeah,
Some of
there's,
the money was looked at for this, right?
Right.
The contract that just settled in 23.
Yeah, and there was a contract too in the circuit court that settled. We had money specifically set aside in contingencies because we knew that would settle during the year. Instead of going directly into their budget.
And so you haven't even been able to come to us for that contingent money that was, and that's part of this is because of the increase, because of that contract.
Right.
Thanks.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Okay, all in favor?
All right.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Next up is grants. Can I get a motion for item 23-2348, GPN 06323-03623, Law Enforcement Camera Grant, Phase 2, Illinois Law Enforcement Training and Standards Board in the amount of $31,104. Was there a second? Okay. Okay, all in favor? Okay, the motion carries. Any old business? Any new business? Okay, Member Desart.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to talk about the DuPage County State's Attorney's Office. I'm quoting liberally here from the Daily Herald. A woman accused of being cruel and neglecting 33 dogs may have to pay for their room and board while awaiting trial. DuPage County Assistant State's Attorney Alyssa Rabelinski is asking that this person post a bond of $15 per day per dog while they are in custody of DuPage County Animal Services. That $495 fee does not include the cost of medications the dogs are taking. Rabelinski, I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name, Alyssa, but she is also seeking to have the dogs taken away permanently from this person before her trial begins on 132 misdemeanor charges of animal cruelty and failure of owner duties. I think this is brilliant. I think it's creative. It's out of the box thinking. And I just wanted to say, you know, the leadership of this assistant state's attorney is beyond measure, and kudos to her for thinking outside of the box. And this is just brilliant. I love it. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Desart. Any other new business? Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn? Okay, all in favor? Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you.